Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Thursday Delo Week day number 4 workout. Let's begin with 3 rounds through the following sequence. The first is going to be a minute of plank hamstring curls. So these ones, I don't care how slow you go on the hamstring curls. I care about you being in a good position the whole time, not rotating your hips as you pick up one foot off the ground, and try to get a really good squeeze of that hamstring every time you pull that alternating heel to your butt. All right, that is our first exercise. Next one, we'll go into some somersaults. I'll have the red mats out for that to do. Reverse somersaults are just as good as forward somersaults. I feel like reverse somersaults make me dizzier, but they are slightly mechanically easier to do. They don't require that dive forward. You can kind of start laying down on them, but they make me a little bit more queasy when I do them. But it is good. It's a trainable system. If you get too dizzy after 1 rep, then just stop. If you can try 2, try 2. If you can try 3, try 3. Then get your PVC pipe out. Let's do some overhead squats, so stretching out the shoulders, stretching out the hips, and then finish with 8 reps of a kip. Right? If you need to have your feet on the floor for this, that's fine. In fact, I would prefer your feet on the ground if it helps you get better range of motion out of your shoulders. But this is the shoulder blades moving to open up and then close up the shoulder, and notice as I do it, see the displacement of where my head is relative to my arms. So I don't want to try to kip with my head kind of stuck between my arms. I want to pull my shoulder blades down a little bit and then shrug forward and shrug back. So there's a huge difference between where my head goes, and I'm not using my neck, I'm using my shoulders to create that movement. Also on the kips, I'm not using my hips very much. They're kind of following along with the movement, but there is not a dramatic leg swing on my kips when I'm practicing like that in the warm-up. The hips will come in later as you do more gymnastic elements on the bar. All right, that is our warm-up sequence. Then we're gonna get into some weighted or strict pull-ups. Relatively small numbers on the reps here, so 5, 4, 3, 3, 2. If you can do that with a kettlebell hanging from a weight belt or with a dumbbell between your feet, that's great. If you can do the strict pull-ups unassisted, that's great. If you need a band to do them, make it a challenging band for those rep ranges. And ideally, if you know you're going to be needing a band assistance for the set of 5, I would like for it to be a different band resistance for the set of 4, different band resistance for the set of 3, set of 2, set of 2, okay? So make it so that you feel the progression of more and more difficulty as you get to lower and lower reps of the pull-up. When you finish the pulling work, we have a little barbell and shoulder rotator sequence for you. So have a barbell out with a moderate load on it. So I'm thinking 95, 65 is a great moderate weight for it. If you want to tune it up a little bit or tune it down a little bit, that's fine. But it should be the same weight for all 3 of these exercises. The first one is a sumo deadlift high pull. So I'm going to my sumo stance. So the feet will be inside the weights, but not by much. Hands are at the normal deadlifting position, right? Hip extension first, followed by a follow through with the pull to the chin, and then back to the ground. Hip extension, follow through with the pull to the chin, right? Trying to generate momentum upward with the extension of the hips, and also trying not to muddle the pull of the arms before the extension of the hips happens, right? So one of the things we don't want to see is this position, right? I never want my elbows bent this aggressively while my hips are still opening. Make sure your arms stay long until the hips complete their extension, and then sequence the arms into the movement. After you finish that, we can move our feet narrower, power clean that bar up to your shoulders, 8 reps of a push press. Oh, I'm sorry, I went out of order. Bent over barbell row is first, right? Now I'm pulling with the arms, right, from this bent over position, and then up to the shoulders, finish with the push press. Sorry, I did that out of order. Last exercise is called a Cuban press, right? And we can do this from seated on the ground or up on a bench. But I'm gonna start with my hands down by my side. I'm gonna row up vertically, rotate to the vertical position with my hands facing up now, and press overhead, and then back down to this scarecrow position, and then down to my hips. Up, rotate, press, down, rotate, extend. All right, that's the Cuban press. We're getting 8 reps of that. 3 rounds through that little sequence at an appropriate deload pace and loading. All right, that's it for Thursday. See you guys on Friday.